All right, got a fun one for you guys. Just gonna have a good time with this. So, I wanted to rant about just job searching and how ass that shit is. So, for context, I graduated back in May. We're now in October. I did have an internship that ran until about, mid August. So, I wasn't really looking for anything until that was finished up. So, following that, obviously, I started really looking about 2 months ago, we'll say. Over the summer, I was still competing in athletics for the better part of June, July. Again, still doing the internship thing, still staying busy, still going to the gym. Keeping myself busy. Um, but then obviously we hit fucking September, right? It's been about a month. I've been looking. Mid September, it would have been about a month, right? For context, I graduated with a degree in marketing, a bachelor's in marketing. I have an associate's in science, general studies, and also arts, which is kind of like the standard. Science being the only like special, I guess, associates I walked out with. So here's something interesting, right? And maybe I'm wrong, and that's fine. You can let me know. This is just me talking shit because it's pissing me off. Um, I feel like having to avoid scam jobs is a very business specific issue. And what I mean by that is if you are a business student of any kind, of any kind really, you're going to have to avoid these jobs that aren't really jobs, like these fucking, multi-level marketing MLM bullshits, fucking life insurance sales, these fucking pyramid scheme gimmicks, like shit like that, right? And look, I'm sure there's other people that gotta deal with the same bullshit. I'm not trying to victimize myself here because that's lame, but let's think about it, right? You graduate with a degree in marketing. Okay, I want to do marketing. Everyone needs fucking marketing. Everybody, because if no one knows who the fuck you are, what you're doing, you're not gonna get fucking business. That's just the reality. Okay. I spent the better part of my life working in a construction company, a family business, right? To the point where when I was around 16, I was driving to the fucking city halls having to pull permits and shit like that, right? The reality of the situation, right? So, yes, I have professional experience. And whether or not people want to count that, I'm putting it on the resume. I have no problem with embellishing things on my resume. I don't give a fuck because I think, frankly, I've earned it. I've worked for it. And there's so many gimmicks and unethical things in business and in the job search in general that I think this is the lesser of two evils. Me embellishing a couple of things on my history. I don't give a fuck. So, what I mean by unethical practices in the job, market is I mean this. So, there are instances where companies will create job openings but have no actual plan on filling those positions, right? Now you're probably wondering, well, why would they do this? The reason for this is because, especially specifically if it's a corporation, they'll do this as a board of directors, right? Um, you do this because you want to give the illusion that you are growing your company. Because then they're gonna point to these job openings and be like, "Look, we're hiring fucking 100 positions, right?" But have maybe hired 20 of those positions. So that's something else that fucking happens, right? Not to mention the current state of, you know, the United States government and the job market and the economy. Not necessarily the best. I mean, you recently had a huge crypto crash, which I mean, I'm not really the biggest fuck giver of crypto, but that is part of economics. Whether or not I like it or not, it is what it is. Um, and obviously the markets go up and down, right? There are people that have lost millions. There are people that lost everything in this recent crash. But there's also mysteriously that one fucking guy who made like 190 million betting against the market up until like a minute before it happened. Wonder what's going on there, right? But that's a topic for, that's a rant for another time. So, my whole thing here is this. It's really fucking annoying being a business student, someone who has had a lifetime of work experience since I was a kid up until I was doing things professionally in my teenage years, sacrificing my summers, not really living a normal summer life that a lot of kids were living, the summer camps, the fucking hanging out with your neighborhood friends bullshit. I didn't have none of that, right? I have busted my ass for the better part of my fucking life, okay? That's the reality, and no one can undo that. No one can argue against that because, frankly, they didn't fucking live it the way I did, right? So it frustrates me when companies hire people, and this is going to sound egotistical because frankly it is, people that are lesser than my ability. I can do pretty much any job you give me because I'm willing to eat shit and fucking learn it so that way I can, live my fucking life, right? I have plans beyond just marketing, by the way. Marketing very much to me is a gateway to fund the things that I truly want to do with my life that have nothing to do with marketing. But the skills in marketing are very fucking important, I feel, right? Again, being able to promote yourself, if I want to start my own business, now I know how to do these things. That's just the facts. So it wasn't a waste of my college years. By any means. I was still an athlete in college. I had a great time there. Met some people that I felt were, great. There's people that I thought I could be friends with, and there's people that I realized, oh, these people truly care about how I'm doing. These are the people I'm going to take forward with me to the remainder of my life, right? I'm kind of getting off the rails, but it's just shitty that I have to endure everyone has to endure this process when they're searching for jobs because it's fucking frustrating. And it is very much a who you know rather than how good you are at your job. I've seen this happen. You hire some complete inadequate fucking decrepit loser for a position who has no ability to fucking actually do what this job entails over the fucking person who clearly is capable of doing this job correctly. Shit like that. And then they wonder why those departments fucking go under. It's fucking stupid. So, I'm a bit bitter about it. You know what I mean? Of course. I mean, who wouldn't be? Frankly, I have no patience for stupid shit like this. But I gotta deal with it. Everyone's gotta deal with it. It is what it is. But I'm gonna talk about it because, frankly, I have the right to complain about it while doing something about it. I'm not gonna sit here and complain and do fuck all. That's not how I roll, right? Sitting there and bitching and complaining and doing nothing, that shit's fucking lame. Get over it, right? So, here's something else that's interesting, right? I already talked about how, they have these bullshit job openings that they don't plan on filling. But the other thing is this. I have to deal with text messages from these like, oh, I'm the HR manager of so-and-so life group. And I'm like, life group? You gotta be shitting me. Every time I hear life group or income life, and if I see the word life, I know it's life insurance. And that's almost always bullshit. Almost always bullshit. I fucking hate that. I'm going to call some of these guys out too. American Income Life, get fucked. And it's not malicious. That's just my personal opinion about you. You are a life insurance company, and almost all of them are ran fucking like a pyramid scheme. That's just reality. Northwestern Mutual, get fucked. That's another company that I refuse to work for, to the point where I even tell them, hey, I'm not accepting any offers from this industry. I refuse to work in this industry. Please stop texting me. It's retarded. Frankly, there's no other word to describe it. And it's not a derogatory term towards any particular group of people. I'm using it to describe these people because, frankly, I don't think that they are, or these companies, because I don't think that they are deserving of any sort of respect, in my opinion. So, where do I go from here? Well, frankly, I think job fairs are nice because you get to see people physically. Yes, you will encounter bullshit companies there too, but I feel like you can see it, you can smell it metaphorically when you're there in person. You can pick up on the vibes right? You can pick up on the vibes from these fucking AI written texts. That's something else you gotta deal with too. Motherfuckers will hate it when you use AI for resume. Not that I use AI for my resume. I take pride in being able to write my shit. So I don't use it. But on average, a lot of people do use AI for their shit, and that's fine. Whatever. I don't care. I'm not your dad. I'm not your mom. I don't give a fuck what you do. But as a hiring company, I find it extremely hypocritical that you are critical of people that use AI for the resumes or whatever it may be. But at the same time, you're using AI to auto filter through these fucking hundreds of resumes you get. You gotta position for that. That's the problem with AI nowadays, man. Like, it's frustrating having to deal with that. And I'm not gonna say I have the worst timing in terms of I graduated. I'm part of the worst era of finding a job. I whatever. I'm sure there's been worse. I'm sure there will be worse in the future. I'm not gonna again victimize myself just because I'm feeling shitty about this. Um, yeah, man, it's fucking very frustrating. I have a lot of great experience. I had a guy who was gonna. Oh my God, you're gonna love this story. I had a guy. He works with student athletes in finding careers. He reaches out to me through LinkedIn. Now, I want to make it very clear that my major and all that stuff is included in my bio. I have a very optimized bio that's pretty simple, it straight to the point. I'm not telling you my whole life story. It just gives you marketing graduate, passionate about sports and entertainment, fan engagement, shit like that, right? Whatever it is. Very short. I think it's less than 25 words, right? Point being, this fucking guy should know what I'm about, okay? Now, don't disrespect to him. He was lovely to talk to. I don't think this guy was being malicious in anything that he said, but I digress. So, I'm talking to this guy, and I tell him my major, right? Now, I will say, he did help me fix up my resume and things like that. So I appreciate that. He helped me decide to make a website to put my extra shit on my resume on there. That way, it's not flooding my resume. So my resume is nicer to look at. So again, not a waste of time. This guy's not a gimmick, right? But there was something that he said to me that really rubbed me the wrong way. There's two things. So number one, he tells me I don't really work with marketing graduates that much. So I don't really have any source, like I don't really have any people I can network you to, right? So initially I'm like, well, whatever. What can you do, right? I thought it was stupid because like how the fuck are you gonna like not know, right? I made sure I knew who he was. I read up about him before I hopped in this meeting. I wanted to make sure I was talking to someone that wasn't gonna waste my time. That's me being responsible. And then shortly after that, this guy tells me, like we're talking about, like he sees my job experience. He's like, well, you have working experience, but you don't have experience, like professional experience. And I'm thinking that's bullshit because having to dress up to talk to city officials to request permits and sit in city meetings is pretty fucking professional to me. Whether or not you count it or not, that is the reality. If I have to dress up for this shit, it is professional. If I have to present myself well, if my ass is on the line, that is professional. True or not true? Think about it. So anyway, after this whole thing about my job experience, the motherfucker says, I'm calling him motherfucker because this shit pissed me off. And again, I think as a whole, this guy, whatever, you know, older guy, he was, again, still helpful, but this was rude. He's honestly, God, I think you should just take what you can get. And I'm like, first of all, I didn't go in my head. I didn't say this because I just kind of was like, at this point, I was checked out. I just wanted to be done with this conversation. I tell this fucking guy. So in my head, I'm thinking, I didn't sit through 4 years, actually 6 years of college because COVID happened in my second semester and I had to slow down to learn how to do online class because I sucked at online class. I was too irresponsible to be good at online classes. So I had to fix myself, get better, improve my ability as a student to get through college, right? I didn't sit through 6 years of fucking college, busting my ass being a student athlete at the same time, being a residence assistant at the same time as being an athlete, as being a student, right? And take pride in all of the projects I was doing during this process of college to get paid pennies on the dollar that any motherfucker from high school could get paid. That's bullshit. And I also think it's ridiculous that you expect motherfuckers, you have entry level positions that require 3+ years of experience. Guess what? I'm gonna now adjust my resume to tell you I have 9 years of experience because I've been working in construction for the better part of 9 years. Right? I may be 24 years old, but I was doing this shit since I was 8. I had talked to people and learned how to communicate with people since I was 8. That's the reality. I may not be social in terms of friend conversations, but if I can talk to someone that I respect, right, or I can have a good conversation with people if that person is receptive to conversation, which unfortunately a lot of people my age are not good at having conversations. They are scared of conversations. They talk about superficial shit. It's not me. So yeah, I have no problem now glazing my resume a little bit because you gotta sell yourself. It's marketing, right? Might as well use what I've learned in the job search to now find something. Because they gotta train me anyway. They gotta train me anyway. And it's not like I can't adapt to this shit, right? But yeah, that's it, man. Just bitter words from a bitter college graduate talking shit. I'm bored. It's Monday. It's almost 12. I might even post it the same day. That Tron Ares spoiler review is up. My mic settings were horrible. I did some improvements. I won't really know how it sounds until after. Hopefully it sounds all right. I did do some mic testing and it sounded fine to me, but a full-length video where I'm moving my head around, away from the microphone, close to the microphone, I'm just hoping it's not unbearable to listen to. So I apologize for that Tron Ares review. It sounds like I recorded off a phone. I do have a microphone, but I have no pop filter, so you're going to have to hear all those fucking pops. I also moved the microphone in a different position, so hope that sounds a lot better. But yeah, that's it for me today. Not a daily uploader, but I had to get this off my chest because it's something I'm going to start doing now. I just got home from the gym about 40 minutes ago. I ate, and I was just thinking about how grueling this process was and how it's been for the last 2 months and how I really just want to get this off my chest. So, yeah, appreciate you listening to me. Like and subscribe. I got some stuff coming up on the other channel, which is Slick's Scare Hour. There are no videos on there yet, but I plan on playing through Silent Hill 1 for the PlayStation. The original, because we recently found out that game is getting a remaster. Probably won't be able to play the remaster, but because I have no computer that can run that. But I want to play through the first game just because, it's a game I like playing. I've played through it a couple times over the years. I want to say this recording I'll do will be the first time I played through it fully since I was like a kid. Because I never actually played through the whole game over these years. I've kind of played through certain parts of it up to a point, but I never finished the game. So whatever I have coming up will be me finishing out the game. It'll be fun. Hope to see you there. It'll be chill. It'll be longer playthroughs, me talking. It might be in a Discord with Chris, my friend, and it might just be us having conversation while all this stuff is happening. That should be fun. We'll see what's up with that when the time comes. But yeah, that's it for me. Again, bitter words from a bitter college student. I'm not this salty about it, but there are some things that piss me off, and frankly, I'm tired of the gimmicks. I really wish there was more genuineness in this fucking process, but there isn't. There's a lot of bullshit that you gotta sort through, and it's annoying. It's a job in and of itself, So if you're struggling to find a job, it is what it is. You're not alone. I'm doing the same thing, but I'm doing this YouTube shit as a hobby because I kind of always wanted to do it. I had videos up back in the day. I took them all down because I just wanted better quality stuff, and I wanted to change the overall vibe of what I was doing. So, yeah. But that's it for me, man. You take care. I will see you some other time.